I have a great levity and choices of classes I want to take. Even if, like, there's a bunch of general education classes, I have a great flexibility in the class I want to take. It's up to the student if they want to take meaningless classes given their credit limit.
That's 100% false.
So, I actually got your book.
Oh, yeah.
It's this one, and I was actually reading it. This is probably the first book I actually enjoyed. I do disagree with you on one issue, though. Like,
first of all, thank you for actually reading the book.
oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, like I hate books.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, I read the book, and it was like you were talking about how college is a complete waste of time, and I would slightly disagree with you because half of the jobs I'm applying to require a degree. So what would you say to that?
That's a good argument. Yeah, that's the best argument for why to go to college, is to get the piece of paper so you can get the credentials so you can maybe get the job.
So it isn't a scam.
I'm sorry?
It's not a scam.
Well, as you well know in the book, I detail that half the jobs don't require a college degree. Okay. So it's a 50% chance. You also are filled with really bad ideas, and that not even every kid that goes to college will graduate. So it all depends. But I think that if you look at the amount of money that you have to spend to go, the amount of time you spend here, and the ideas you have to endure, I do believe it is a scam.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
And thank you for reading it. Want me to sign it for you?
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
All right, thank you, man.
It's 100% a scam for majority of students. 100%. And I'm saying this. I got a full ride to college as an electrical and an optical photonics engineer, and I'm getting a master's right now for free, by the way. So I'm still in college. I'm still in college right now. But for the majority of students, they're using your money to pay for more technical fields. Like, the reason people like me are able to get, and I'm being 100% honest, I'm not being biased or cocky at all, I'm being real. The reason people like me are even able to get full rides or, you know, a lot of scholarships and stuff like that is because somebody has to be paying for this. And it's other students. They're taking advantage of other students. So I think the majority of people probably should not go to college when it comes to picking a career because it's not necessary. I really believe that, and they're getting taken advantage of. You need to research colleges more if you are deciding to go, and do not get taken advantage of.
How you doing?
Hey, Charlie. Is this too loud?
No, it's actually perfect.
My name's Kevin.
We got the apparatchiks over there, so yeah.
Gotcha. How are you feeling tonight? Or today? Yeah.
I feel great.
All right. I just want to talk to you about that book. It was a good segue.
Oh, did you read it?
No.
Okay.
But I want your thoughts, like
Okay.
just face to face. Why do you think college is a scam?
Okay. So, half of this audience, if you get a job, will get a job that doesn't require a college degree. 41% of kids that enter college will not graduate. And the vast majority of kids, 60 to 70% that go to college, I believe study things that are completely worthless, meaningless, and don't enrich society at all.
But is that the fault of the student or the college? Because I looked in the stats for this. It's usually because they either don't have the finances to support themselves going to college. They don't. They have.
I'm gonna let this student finish, but something he said is really rubbing me the wrong way. It doesn't even matter whose fault it is that's happening, whether it's the student or the college. It doesn't matter. What Charlie Kirk said was, going to college is a scam. Whether or not it's the fault of the university or the fault of the student is kind of a moot point in a sense, because that doesn't negate the fact that just being there, you're getting scammed. Like, if I scam you, it doesn't matter if it's your fault you got scammed or if it's my fault you got scammed. You're still getting scammed. That's his point. And I think, you should kind of debate that.
Have mental health problems that lead them to dropping out, or stress, or their family's not supporting them. So is that the fault of college that they pick bad degrees? Is that the fault of the college that they can't support themselves, right? It's like getting a gym membership and then saying, well, I don't want to actually go work out. It's the fault of the gym.
So, a good question. So first, the 41% of kids that drop out, the federal government will fully underwrite any four-year college through FAFSA. You know that, through a student loan. Meaning, so if anyone has financial difficulty, that's not really a thing. The federal government will fully grant you your loan to any four-year university, right? So you might not want to take on that student loan burden. You might not want to take that on, but that's number one. Number two, I can't speak to the mental health issues. I doubt that 41% of the kids that graduate and that number all have mental health issues, but maybe that's the case. I'm not sure. I don't know that number. But let's talk about the institution itself. So everyone in the audience here, how many of you have had to take classes that are a waste of time that you wish you didn't have to take, that are a waste of money, and that every single hand goes up? Look around. Look around. Look around. No, look around. There's
I would say though, just because you believe as a student a class is a waste of time does not necessarily mean a class is a waste of time. And I'm not saying Charlie Kirk is wrong with saying college is a scam or whatever, but I know when you're 18, 19, 20, 21, and you could probably speak to this too if you're those ages or if you've been those ages, or even if you're younger. There have been knowledge that you've learned in life that you probably didn't think you would need, but you turned out and needed it. I would say, however, this point that I'm saying could be negated by the fact that every class in college is like $4,000. It's about $4,000 a class, something along those lines. So that could kind of, sway the accuracy of what I'm saying. But, sometimes you do need the information in classes. I don't know if you need it for the price tag, but, you could use it.
scamming every kid in this audience. They are forcing them to take classes that make them poorer, that take up their time in order to get the credential. That is a institutional scam. And by the way, every other part of life is all about your own customization. Your Netflix account, how you get your burrito bowl, from how you dress, your Amazon cart is you are in charge. But you come to college and they say you must go take these 3, 4, 5 classes that are very expensive, especially for you out-of-state students, to go further into debt, study things that don't matter, to find jobs that don't exist. That sounds like a scam.
That's a good point.
At least in my personal experience, right? Like maybe some colleges, they're all like Nambi and gender studies, right? They might all be that. But I would say,
What are you studying?
I'm studying economics.
Right, okay.
And what I would say is that I have a great levity and choices of classes I want to take. Even if there's a bunch of general education classes, I have a great flexibility in the class I want to take. It's up to the student if they want to take meaningless classes given their credit limit.
That's 100% false. That's 100% false. It's kind of called the illusion of choice. You can, I guess, pick certain classes, but this doesn't negate the fact that at least 20 credits that you will take, because that's the standard. Like the first year you're in college really has nothing to do with your major. Unless you're maybe engineering, we have to take some math classes. Even in engineering, you're taking a lot of humanities classes that you really don't need. But it's called the illusion of choice. For example, I study engineering. I was allowed to decide if I wanted to take a humanities class or an extra English class. Neither really have much to do with my profession, but I had to choose between them, and that's what I mean by the illusion of choice. You're not really able to decide if you want to take things that will help you advance in your career. You're just allowed to decide between other classes that they still forcing you to take.
Okay, but I would just speculate that this school still has specific criteria of classes, right? Am I correct? Yeah, you have to take a diversity class. That sounds like a scam.
Well,
They are robbing you to take a diversity class.
it's actually not what you would typically think. I think
I'm taking. Is it true? Do you guys have to take a diversity class?
No, this is true.
Okay.
This is true.
All right, so that's a scam. Let's be clear. Diversity class scam.
Can you define what a scam is?
When you are getting ripped off of with your money, your time, your resources, either beyond what is a market rate or against your will. So I'll give you an example. If you guys want to fly to New York and Spirit Airlines says we're going to charge you $2,500 for a one-way ticket, I think we'd all could agree flying Spirit Airlines for $2,500 is a scam. You know it when you see it.
I mean, it depends on how you view the worth of college. Like if the Federal Reserve for San Francisco released a newsletter discussing the actual finances behind is college actually worth it, and they found that by age 40 you recoup the average student recoups all their costs
If they graduate.
if they graduate, and even accounting for that, other economists also state.
No, so that's an important study. If you take out the top 10%, that's not the case. So
Top 10% of what?
Top 10% of graduates and income earners. So the top 10% end up flourishing with a college degree. The other 90% do not. Do you know that there are 11 million job openings in this country that pay $75,000 a year, that require 6 weeks of training, that require muscular labor or using your hands? 11 million job openings. Now, a lot of you guys are in college because you've been pushed into college saying that you must get the piece of paper, you might get the piece of paper.
And what he said is a really good point. For example, if you graduate college and you end up becoming a doctor, you're going to be like, I'm saying, a very specialized doctor. You're going to be making $300,000, $400,000, probably even $500,000 a year. And people in those fields they definitely skew the numbers on whether a college degree is worth it. Even if you're an engineer, or let's say you're an economist at a high earning firm or something. Let's say you went to an Ivy League. All I'm saying is there are definitely ways to skew the numbers. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because if you argue that the average student recuperates all their money, I think you should be able to say, okay, let's remove, I wouldn't say remove the top 10%, but remove the top 1%. Remove the top 1% of student who graduates and becomes a billionaire, or who graduates and becomes a millionaire. Remove that 1% and then look at the numbers and see what the real average student turns out to be.
When there are good paying jobs, 11 million of them, but either your society, your parents, or your own choices are, no, I want to go to college, I want to go after that piece of paper. My contention is that there are way better options out there for a lot of students. Not every student, but almost a lot of other students.
Charlie, I think a part of your core rhetoric, there's actually some real truth there that, like, I think there's people who are getting really just pressure to go to college even if they're making poor choices. I'm just saying that even while you're in college, you can make better choices to make yourself a better candidate.
I totally agree. Do you think most people do?
I know some that are making great choices. Okay. I know some that are making terrible choices.
So let's think about this. Why do you think, let's just say most make terrible choices? Would you say that's the case?
I'll give you 40 to 60.
Why do you think that is? Maybe because the institution incentivizes bad choices. It's easy to coast and still graduate. It's easy just to check the boxes, right? It's not an institution designed around excellence. It's around, let's get you through the mill as quickly as possible, get the piece of paper, pay your bill. Thank you very much.
But do you think that the culture around students going to college could change instead, around their decision making?
I think we need way less kids going to college. The institution itself is so broken, let's be clear. Forced diversity classes, DEI, all that stuff, it's nonsense. If it was really, college really should be closer to what Hillsdale College is, which is about wisdom, beauty, truth, goodness, not just about job preparedness. But we've lost that completely. If it's about doctors, lawyers, engineers, and the skills, of course. But you know that. It's way beyond that. I mean, people going to, not to pick on you, but you're studying economics. That's terrific. That's a good reason to go to college. It's not the best reason, I'll be honest, but it's a good reason, right? I mean, economics is a serious discipline. It's a real science. You know, we need people really rigorously studying that. So,
okay,
we just have a difference of opinion.
I just want to ask you a question.
Sure.
So what would you do, like, if you were a policymaker?
I would defund all the colleges in the country. Make them stand on their own 2 feet.
Oh, wow. That would be crazy. Let me know what y'all think about that. That was our Jojo. I'll see you guys.